The film Journey to the West begins with an old story in China about a little girl playing in the water at the edge of a lake. Her father was preparing his net to catch fish. Here, the girl began to cry when she realized her father was going fishing and leaving her. Then we see her father go down into the water and start making movements to make her laugh and feel happy. But suddenly, the father is pulled under and stays inside the water. The girl is laughing, thinking her father is playing with her. At this moment, we know the man has disappeared completely. Now we see a lot of blood appearing on the water. Afterward, the village people hired a professional hunter to catch the creature that ate the man. The hunter began throwing bombs into the lake. Suddenly, a powerful explosion occurred inside it. The people were amazed by the scene. At this moment, a very large fish came out. The hunter told all the people that this fish was possessed by an evil spirit, and the devil was controlling it and was responsible for the hunter's death. The people were very happy because they were able to catch the fish they called the devil. Afterward, we see one of the citizens telling the people that this is an ordinary fish, and the real devil is not this one. We learn that this person's name is Tang, and we also know that he is a demon hunter. The second hunter gets very annoyed by Tang's words and tells him, "You are an agent for the devilfish." He makes the village people attack Tang and beat him. In the end, they tie him with a rope. All the people went down to the lake, convinced that the devil was dead. Here, Tang tried to stop them, but their joy did not last. A huge monster came out of the water and attacked one of them. Everyone was in great shock because they realized Tang's words were true. Quickly, they began to get out of the lake and try to save themselves. Everyone was terrified. After they got out of the water, they thought they were safe now. But suddenly, the monster began to use its tongue and pull people into the water. The girl whose father the monster killed started running toward her mother, but the monster caught her and tried to pull her into the water. All the village people tried to save the girl. Quickly, the monster's tongue and the girl fall into the water. They catch her at the last moment and save her, but the monster jumps out of the water, takes the girl and returns. Her mother is shocked and jumps after her daughter to save her. The monster appears in front of the mother and looks at her with anger. The mother begs it to return her daughter, but the monster attacks and eats her. Afterward, the monster begins hitting the wooden buildings near the lake, causing people to lose their balance. At this moment, we see a baby falling, and his mother was trying to catch him, but she couldn't. Fortunately, Tang unties the rope and jumps on the other side of the wood. The wood rises from the other side, and the baby begins to move toward him. When the monster sees him, it attacks Tang quickly. But Tang doesn't give up and jumps to the other side of the wood. We know the monster was on the other side, and Tang used his weight and was able to save the child. He is afraid and hidden among the people. But suddenly, a very large woman comes out from among the villagers. She runs toward the monster, and her steps were causing earthquakes in the ground. She jumps on the wood the monster is on. As a result of this action, the monster flies and falls on the hunter. Suddenly, the monster turns into a young man, and it appears that he is injured. All the villagers try to kill him, but Tang stops them and suggests they find a better solution than killing. Next, he prepared many musical instruments and brought a book called Children's Nursery Rhymes. He was trying to change the monster from evil to peaceful through musical notes. But he sang in a very ugly voice, and this is what confused the demon and the people. The demon gets very angry at Tang and begins hitting him against the wall. Before it kills Tang, a woman comes, grabs the demon by its head, and starts hitting it. She also traps the demon in a magical cloth bag. This bag turns it into a doll. We know that this girl is one of the professional demon hunters named Duan. Here, Tang shows her his way of hunting demons. When the hunter sees it, she keeps laughing at him and mocks his method. All the people thank her and consider her the hero of the village. Tang went to talk to his teacher, and he was sad because he couldn't save the village from the demon. But the teacher tells him it's difficult to turn evil into good. The teacher kept encouraging Tang, and here he gave him another mission about a demon who uses human meat for cooking inside a restaurant. Indeed, Tang agrees and goes. When he enters the place, he sees it filled with customers who were enjoying the food. A girl receives him and explains the place to him, but Tang quickly realizes that this girl is a demon. Tang keeps provoking her, and she gets angry at him. After seconds, Duan appears and begins hitting the girl and turning her into dust. Then she begins attacking everyone in the restaurant and turning them into dust using a certain spell. After she killed everyone, she started calling for the restaurant owner. Suddenly, a young man appears behind her, and she begins to fight him. But he was strong. Quickly, she took out a set of rings and started hitting him with them until his face was disfigured. The boy then returned the rings to Duan, and the battle between them continued. They were of the same strength. Duan pressures him and manages to force him to turn into a pig, showing his true form. Here, Duan prevents him from moving and calls Tang to come and help her. Finally, she was able to trap the evil spirit in the pig. But this time, the demon is larger and stronger. Its size began to grow in the bag until it came out in the form of a huge animal. Duan and Tang leave the place quickly until they reach the lake. Now we know that Duan was injured and very hurt because of the battle between them. She asks Tang to press on the wound to stop the bleeding. Tang presses, and blood is pulled from his body or comes out of his nose. Afterward, Tang goes to the teacher and says, "I failed for the second time." The teacher tells him, if you want to defeat the demon, you must go to the king of demons. This king's name is Kong, and he has been imprisoned in a mountain cave for 1,500 years. On the same night, we see them walking in the forest. Suddenly, Tang falls into a trap of a certain gang. We know this trap belongs to Duan's gang. Duan tried to force Tang into marriage, but Tang refuses. But Duan doesn't care about his words and imprisons him. Here, her sister advises her to seduce him and dance for him. But when Duan tried, she didn't know how to dance in a funny way. So her sister gives her magical talisman so she can control her movements and dance well. When she goes to Tang, a possession occurs in the body. She kept hitting until a paper from the talismans flies and falls on Tang. Here, Duan quickly leaves the village. At the same time, we see her sister still dancing, and Tang began to do the same movements Duan's sister was doing in front of the guards. The guards began hitting Tang, but at this moment, the demon reaches their place. Everyone runs toward the car to escape, but suddenly, they see the demon in front of them. Duan decides to throw Tang out of the car before the pig smashes their car. Here, the pig began cornering them. But fortunately, a person with spiritual tiger power appears. Through this power, he can face the demon and eliminate it. Indeed, the demon eventually got scared and fled. We know that this man is one of the demon hunters, and he has a team consisting of the giant foot, the pampered prince, and 4 maids. But these maids don't listen to the hunter's words. The hunters start fighting over who will catch the demon first. Here, Tang tells them, "You are doing this for money, and you don't deserve to be demon hunters because you are hunters who only care about money." He asks Duan to return his book angrily, and he asks angrily for her to return his book. This makes Duan angry. She tears the book and throws it. She began hitting Tang and told him, "You are worth nothing without me." Here, Tang remains silent and doesn't respond to her with anything. Afterward, Tang doesn't care, leaves them and goes. After a while, he reaches the mountain with demonic plants. He sees a plant coming out of a hole in the mountain. He enters inside this opening. Suddenly, a crazy man comes out to him. As soon as he saw Tang, he ran to him and hugged him. Tang realized that this is the king of demons, whose name is Kong. Tang asks him to help him against the pig demon. As for Kong, he was trying to deceive Tang and tells him, "If you want me to teach you, you must free me from this place." Tang knows that Kong is a liar and a deceiver, but Kong was trying to reach him. The 2 things in which she imprisoned the demons as a gift to Tang. Afterward, she put a ring on his hand and forced him into marriage. But Tang is very upset and annoyed. He wanted to cut off his finger. Duan takes the ring from his hand and returns his book, whose pages she had torn. But Tang refused to take the book from her. Duan gets very sad, leaves him, and goes. Afterward, she leaves the cave. Tang sees Duan, and she is sad. Here, Tang begins to love her. Meanwhile, Kong asks Tang to cut the plants over the cave opening so he can watch the moonlight. Indeed, Tang fulfills his request, but as soon as he cuts the plant, all the plants around it burn. Suddenly, he begins to hear Kong's demonic laugh from the cave. We know that Tang let him out of the cave, and he was able to free himself from imprisonment. He attacks Tang, catches him, and throws him up. He began mocking Tang and telling him, "You are stupid because I was able to deceive you easily." The king of demons begins cutting Tang's hair. Tang remains steady in his place. Here, the king of demons sees the 3 hunters. The owner of the tiger spirit attacks him, but Kong was faster than him and kept biting his neck until he died. Meanwhile, we see the one with the giant foot making his foot grow and become very giant. He hits Kong with a few strong blows. He jumped up to come down on him with his foot, but Kong pierces his foot and hits a very strong blow. As for the prince, he got angry and began launching swords until Kong fled and flew into the sky, but the swords were following him wherever he went. There, Kong took out his weapon and began parrying the swords. The prince gathered all his swords into one weapon and directed this weapon toward Kong. The prince was able to hit Kong with the giant weapon. But suddenly, the huge gorilla spirit appears. Through this spirit, he was able to eliminate the prince. Next comes Tang's turn. But suddenly, Duan appears from behind him at another time to defend him, even though Tang let her down. She began facing Kong with the rings. But as soon as the rings touch Kong, they break. Afterward, Duan approached Kong, but Kong surprises her with a blow to her face and sends her flying away. Here, Tang approached Duan. Duan asked him and said, "Do you love me?" Tang said, "I loved you from the first day I saw you." After moments, Duan dies. Tang mourned her very deeply. He took the ring from her and put it on his hand. Suddenly, he throws it to the sky. As for Kong, he returned to Tang and saw his whole body emitting light. Tang began reading the book and invoking the spirit of Buddha. Buddha began lowering his hand to the earth. Suddenly, a very strong earthquake occurred, piercing the atmosphere. Kong was shocked and refused to surrender. He turned into a very huge gorilla. Any blow from Buddha approached Kong, and he tried to stop it, but he couldn't. Fortunately, he was shattered. Because of it, we finally see that Tang was able to get the demon spirit out of Kong. Tang took the ring from his hand and turned it into a crown, and placed it on Kong's head. Afterward, Kong became one of Tang's disciples. In the end, the teacher told Tang, "You can reach what you want, and now you are ready for your journey to the West." Tang took his team, who were evil demons that he was able to turn into peaceful ones. They all headed to the West to turn the spirits of demons into peaceful spirits. And here is the end of the film. YouTube video views will be stored in your YouTube history, and your data will be stored and used by YouTube according to its terms of service.